All right, all right. I had to start this thing over, man. We got an internet glitch. We back in this BI, you know what. So hit the like button. It ain't nothing. It's your boy, King Supreme. Let's get back to the stream. Yeah, that internet glitch messed up my momentum, man, in a major way. In a major way. So let's see if we can get some of the people back up in here, man. We had a major internet glitch, man, with the last show. So I'm gonna finish this show, man, and we're gonna go in for a few more. So get up in here and enjoy the show. We back, man. That's the internet, man. That's the internet, man. That's out of my control. So let's go.
Asian business owners, man, y'all just the first hit. Y'all just the first wave, man. It's coming. We coming for everybody, man. We don't need nobody. Y'all need us. And we done being your host. We done being a host to a bunch of blood-sucking leeches. Ungrateful. That's exactly what y'all are, man. And this straight truth, man. So don't call us racist or nothing, because we standing up for ourselves and we want our people to shine just like y'all want y'all people to shine, man. There's a reason why y'all don't want us to have money, man. But listen, man, everybody don't, hey, Asian business owners, don't you fret no more, man. We gonna go ahead and get started with the next ones soon. So y'all go ahead and let the community, y'all let the people know who we getting out next, and we getting them. It's time to eat, everybody.
Boycott Asian businesses. Look, I know many people are angry. They think justice needs to be served. So they want to boycott Asian businesses. I know emotions are high, and if this is how you think there's going to be some justice, okay, I'm okay with it. But then when does it end? When is it, okay, we've boycotted Asian businesses enough, justice is served, now let's move on. I just personally don't think.
When does it end? Well, put businesses in your own community. Why do you guys depend on black communities to make money? Right? Why do you want to put, well, I ain't gonna say why do you put businesses in our community? I think we all know why. You want to extract money and resources. That's why you put businesses in our community. You don't like the people, but you want our money. We get it.
This is the solution. If anything, it produces more attention, creating some unnecessary race war. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Asian business owners that are like, what happened? Where's all my black customers? They're just trying to make a living. They're just trying to make money.
When Trump was saying that, hey, we need to bring more manufacturing jobs back to America and depend less on China, where was the Asians at? It was crickets. Now all of a sudden he talking about, oh, it's going to be a race war. No, it's just going to be between you and you not making your bank payments on your loans. Because that's what black Americans is talking about, pushing Asian businesses out of black communities. You don't see any black businesses in Asian communities. You don't see any white businesses in Asian communities. So where is this entitlement coming from? People, this is not China. This is not any Asian country. Nobody's forced to shop nowhere. People could shop and support who they want to support. But like I said before, this won't be no race war. This will be youth going out of business. That's it.
So I've been thinking a lot about this Asian boycott thing. And while I have gone into Asian businesses that have treated me like a queen, honey, remember my name when I come back, all of the things, immaculate service, okay, will come back every time because I like how I'm treated there. There have also been Asian businesses when I walk in and I am racially discriminated against. I've had both experiences, okay? Now, while it may not be every Asian business, maybe a boycott is necessary. Maybe we have to hit home for a lot of you. Because even though I come in your business and you treat me with respect, that's because you as a business owner understand your demographic. Okay? You understand your demographic and you know better, whether you fuck with me or not. Now, what shows that y'all don't fuck with us. This the part, right? Is that instead of getting online and talking to your community about the bullshit they've been pulling in our communities, y'all coming online talking to us. That right there shows your fucking hand. You're coming online and you're begging black people to still patron your businesses, but you haven't mentioned that little black child. You haven't said a word. All you've talked about is how you're affected by the boycott. That's all you've talked about. So whether or not I walk into an Asian business and receive immaculate service or fucked up services because of the way I look, that's irrelevant right now. Because if you cared, truly cared about black people, you'd say his fucking name. If you truly cared, you'd talk to your community. And a lot of you have. I've seen a couple videos of y'all coming on here like, hold on, we oppressed too. We used to get hung too. White people don't patron with us either, right? So some of y'all got some sense. That's what all of you should be doing. But the lack of that, I don't see you doing it enough. Which shows your fucking hand. Do you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, black people tired. We tired as fuck. We tired of dealing with people who don't fuck with us for what y'all don't even know why. You have given into this thought process of a stereotype that white people who have also oppressed you and your ancestors, you feed into that idea that they put inside your head. When you should really be coming to the realization that we should be helping each other. This is a fucking It's always a distraction. It's always a distraction. Look over here. Oppressors love it when the oppressed fight amongst each other. They love that shit. They live for that shit, because then you're not paying attention to who the fuck is holding the fucking puppet strings. I need y'all to come to that realization. Unlearn this shit and learn American history and stop listening to what white people just tell you. And it's like, and the confusing part is like, y'all not talking to each other about this shit? Like, you ain't got ancestors that came here, got hung, were oppressed by white people? Or does it not even fucking matter? That one notch on the totem pole is what matters to you. That you one step, maybe two, above black people. You're never going to reach the top of the food chain, my dear. It's never going to fucking happen. They don't like you either. They're going to keep you where they want you. That's how this system fucking operates. And until y'all open y'all eyes to that, it ain't shit I can do. My people want to boycott your shit? Okay. Start talking to each other. Something got to happen. The fuck we supposed to do? Patron anyway? Get the fuck out of here. Our babies are dying. Why the fuck would we do that?
Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for sticking with us. If you're new here, do let us know where you're watching us from.
Some shrimp in it, little egg foo young.
But every
I will never get to experience that. Some black people pointed out, I say all these things because black people want to boycott Asian-owned businesses. Personally, it doesn't affect me. I don't have anything to sell you, or I don't own any business. I'm not scared of that. I just want peace with everybody. This isn't about money, at least for me.
I ain't gonna lie, ever since that motherfucker came up on this goddamn head TikTok and showed his motherfucking Chinese ass, I have yet to be back to eat me a cat rib. And some damn fried rice with some shrimp in it, little egg foo young. Now I gotta learn how to make that shit at home. God damn.
Asian content creators are on here talking about solidarity. They're preaching it, saying, hey, not all Asians are like this. We're not a monolith. Now is not the right time, guys. A kid was murdered. The killer was released onto the streets. One of the crazier ones I saw was some guy was talking about, why don't they boycott quote unquote white businesses? Why are they boycotting all Asian businesses? What do you think MLK was doing? Now, for the boycott of all Asian businesses, you know, my parents own a storefront, and even at that, I won't argue against the boycott. Because for something like this, you have to try to understand the other side, even though I won't truly fully understand. You got to try, right? It's at a point where this is not the first time something like this happened. So imagine you have a kid. Would you let them go to a store where there's a slight chance, even a slight chance, where the business owners of that establishment are okay with taking your kid's life on the whim, off an assumption? Would you take your kid to that store?
Hey Queens, I heard we were pretty much there to stop using like products and service providers outside of our race. So I just wanted to come on here and tell y'all that I do have a $70 new client special. So if you're looking to get more into black owned, pull up on me at 17200 10 East Mile Road, 10 Mile Road in East Point. Okay, and listen, we don't even have to worry about all that extra stuff. Just pull up and we're gonna be comfortable, and you don't gotta worry about none of that extra stuff. Okay, it's home over here.
Hi guys, it's April Floyd and it's story time. Listen, I had a girlfriend to call me today.
Make sure you guys get the likes up. We had a glitch earlier, man, so we had to do a part 2 to this, unfortunately, man. But we back, we here. Let's get it.
She's like, I'm going to get my nails done. And I said, where you getting your nails done? I'm in St. Louis. She said, I'm going to get my nails done in Ladue in Orlando. I said, I know what those people look like. So I said, I tell you what, I'm going to meet you over there. So I wanted to go over there so I can see how many of us is in there. So I get to the place, I park, I come inside, and there are only 2 of us in there, and that is included my friend. So out of all defense for my friend, I'm going to say this: she did not know anything about what's going on because she is older generation, and she don't do the social media stuff. Okay, so she didn't know, and I hadn't got a chance to tell her what's going on yet. So there's the other lady that's in there. When I waited on in the parking lot for her to come out, and so when she came out, I had a conversation with her about wealth transfer and what we're doing and why we all need to make sure that we don't go into these places.
These Africans are making a lot of money off of our content. They don't have the experience to even talk about this. There's a lot of grifters, even in the FBA community. There's a lot of people who just play videos and they might talk for 2 to 3 minutes. That requires no talent. You got a lot of people who don't have no talent, no conversation, no mouthpiece. They don't know how to entertain an audience with just them. They don't know how to entertain an audience with just them speaking. I'll put it like that. They don't know how to do that. So they'll use other people's content and they might speak for 3 minutes in a whole video. And these videos get a whole lot of views, but the person who's making a video, they have no talent. You got Africans who have no experience when it comes to dealing with Asians and black communities in America. They have no experience with that. They have no experience when it comes to dealing with anti-black Latinos. And some of these people get more views than FBA people who've actually experienced these things. This is what I mean when I say YouTube is goofy. Why would you listen to somebody talk about something and they have no experience in it? They speak for 2 to 3 minutes and just use other people's content. That's what I mean when I say YouTube has gotten way too goofy.
Her a couple of places that she could go, including this one person that will come out to you. All you have to do is prepay and register.
It's Africans too, but it's a lot of our people too. We got a lot of people who don't have talent. I see Africans doing it. I see people in the FBA community doing it. You got a bunch of reactionary channels, people who have no talent. They speak for 2 to 3 minutes and they use other people's videos to carry the whole show. Not speaking from experience, just speaking on things that's trending in social media, but really don't have the experience to even speak on a situation like that. Why do we watch and support some of the most goofiest people with no talent on YouTube? That's crazy.
So, again, now, when the lady comes out, I educate her about everything. that's going on, and how we need to keep our bucks within our community of people that look like us. I told her about the little black squeezy babies that they're doing all over China, how they make fun of us, and they have a little black doll that they squeeze, stress dolls. I told her about, why we're doing what we're doing. I told her all about that. I told her about the 14-year-old boy that got.
Let me say this. I don't mean to quit stop. I don't mean to keep stopping the video, but reactionary channels have, listen, this reactionary content has paved the way for a lot of people who don't have talent to become YouTubers. You got a bunch of talentless people who just use other people's content. They have no experience when it comes to what they're talking about. It's a trending topic, so they make videos about it. Reactionary content has paved the way for a lot of talentless individuals who came to YouTube. They're using other people's content. They can't hold a conversation. They can't keep the audience engaged with their conversation. This is why they only use other people's content. When I first started doing YouTube, it was me talking for 15 minutes. Me talking for 15, 20 minutes, just entertaining the people, not using anybody else's videos. These new YouTubers, they have no talent. They absolutely suck. They are reactionary channels. They're not content creators. They suck. If these people couldn't use other people's content, they don't have nothing to talk about because they don't have the experience to even chime in on the situation. I know what it's like to deal with anti-Black Latinos in Los Angeles. I know what it's like to deal with Asians, with businesses in Black communities. I know what it's like to deal with gang culture and gang violence. I know what it's like when it comes to illegal immigration and how it hurts the community. Everything that I talk about, I have experience in it. I'm not just talking about it because it's a trending topic. Reactionary content has paved the way for a whole lot of people who don't have talent on YouTube. All they do is use other people's content, but they lack the experience. They don't have they ain't got good conversation. They ain't got a mouthpiece. They can't entertain the audience without other people's videos because they have no experience when it comes to the things that they talk about. It's a bunch of lazy people on YouTube who are not content creators. They speak for 2 to 3 minutes and use other people's content.
Murdered for a bottle because of a bottle of water that he did not steal, and how they just let the guy go off, and how all these different things that we've been going through. I educated her, let her know she had no idea. She said she had no idea. Now, she do know now. And like I told her, I also told her this. I say there are people that look like us that's going inside of these places. And if they see you, they will pick up their phone and secretly record you and then put you all on social media as a non-supporter of wealth transfer. So, just in case she didn't know, I let her know. Anyway, during this story time, the point is this. We all must do our job at educating our people. And we always have to let them know that they will be held accountable by any means necessary. I got that from Harriet Tubman. Ain't I cute? Anyway, story time over. So I'm going to pat myself on the back for doing that, educating my people. And I'm going to find me some more nail shops. Okay? Bye.
Cyrus was a wake-up call to the community to do for self, just like Farrakhan has been saying all these years. And Dr. Claude Anderson has been saying all these years. So we are exercising our rights to support one another, and that has to be taken seriously.
Well,
now,
Black women, I'm gonna tell you, like, you got to stop wearing blonde hair if you want your message of Black empowerment to be taken serious. You can't do videos with lace front wigs and your whole face painted. I got to be, oh, you bashing Black men. Shut your weak ass up. Black women need to look like black women if you're going to speak on black empowerment. That's all I'm saying. That's like me speaking about black empowerment, but I got a Tom Cruise wig in. I got a toupee that look like Tom Cruise hair, but I'm speaking about black empowerment. Nobody takes you serious when you got a whole painted on face and you got a lace front wig that's blonde. Nobody takes that serious. So all I'm saying is this: if you're going to speak for black people, you need to look like a black person. If you're going to speak for black people and foundational black Americans, you need to look like a foundational black American and not no damn European, not no Negro peen. Negro peens. That's what I call it. So we got to do better. You can't speak black empowerment when you got other races of. I don't even want to dive too much in that because I want to stay on topic, but I got to say this to black women. If you're going to speak for black empowerment, you need to look like a black woman. When you got a lace front wig on your head and the hair comes from China and India, nobody's going to take you serious. You got a lace front wig that comes from China and India. Now, I can see if you wore it sometimes, but when you want to give a message of black empowerment, you need to look like a black woman if you want to be taken serious.
Because we are seeing that not serving our own interest in our communities is hurting us, is another. And that has to be taken seriously now. Because we are seeing that not serving our own interest in our communities is hurting us. It's hurting us financially. It's hurting us spiritually. People don't respect us. No, they don't. Because they see we are willing to knock down boundaries for ourselves to serve them instead of our own interest.
Let me tell you, I knew this was coming. My Asian friend called me and she said, are you guys really boycotting?
Yeah, black women got to stop doing that. You can't talk black empowerment, but you got a wig on your head that comes from Asia. You got a wig on your head that comes from China or India. Nobody's going to take your message of black empowerment serious at that point. You don't even look like a black woman, but you're speaking black empowerment. Man, come on, man. See, the problem is this: a lot of our pro-black brothers don't want to say that because they don't want to offend black women because they got a lot of black women that support their channel. I'm one of the realest in it. You know, a lot of black women stopped supporting my channel because they didn't like what I said, even though when you think about what I was saying, it was 100% correct. A lot of our conscious black brothers with large platforms, they're too afraid to tell black women the truth. And I'm sick of that as well. I am sick of that weak ass stuff. If you got a platform in a black community, you need to start telling black women the truth. When you got a large platform in a black community and you're too afraid to tell black women the truth, you're no good to the community. You want to tell black people what they want to hear all day. Sometimes you got to tell black people things that they don't want to hear, but it works in their best interest. They might not want to hear it, but it works in their best interest. If you got a platform, you got 500, 600, 1,000 black people watching you every time you go live, and you never tell black women the truth about their behavior and how these lace front wigs is hurting them and how a lot of our money is going outside of our community. If you got a platform like that and you don't use your platform to be honest with black women, you a simp and you're a part of the problem. I'm sick of weak ass men I'm sick of these weak ass men who are too afraid to tell our black women the truth. I'm not saying this because I hate black women. I'm saying this out of love. If you're going to speak for black empowerment, you need to look like a black woman. You're spending money on wigs that come from Asia and China, but you want to give a message of black empowerment. At some point, black men got to start being honest with black women. Damn. Too many of you conscious, bro. You guys are too afraid to be honest with black women, man. That is simping. That is weak. I'm not saying that you got to bash black women, but at what point do you be honest with them?
People don't respect us. No, they don't. Because they see we are willing to knock down boundaries for ourselves to serve them instead of our own interest.
Too many brothers in our community, they're too afraid to be honest with black women because I'm gonna lose views. My views gonna drop. They ain't gonna support it. Listen, if you can't be honest with the women in our community, then you're weak. At what point do you use your platform to tell black women they need to look like black women if they're going to give a message of black empowerment? You need to look like a black woman if you're going to promote that message. At what point do black men in the conscious community, the FBA community, at what point do they be honest with black women and tell black women they need to look like black women? I'm sick of this weak ass stuff, man. I am sick of this weak ass stuff all over social media. Black men too afraid to be honest with black women. You got reactionary channels who have no talent, who just use other people's content, but they're not speaking from no real experience. I'm sick of all this goofy stuff.
Let me tell you, I knew this was coming. My Asian friend called. She said, "Are you guys really cutting Asian business?" And I knew that was going to happen. I knew it was coming. And I said, "Well, honestly, it's really not a boycott. It's a black dollar shift." And she said, "What do you mean? What is that?" I said, "We're going to shift them in another direction towards."
The reason why people don't hit the like button on my channel because I hurt a lot of feelings. I don't tell black people what they want to hear. I tell black people what they need to hear. So a lot of these black people, they flock to channels where people just pander to them and give them feel-good medicine. When you come to King Supreme channel, I'm going to say some things that you might not like, but it's for your benefit in the long run. I'm sick of these I am sick of these weak ass people who can't handle the truth.
Black businesses. It's not about hurting Asians. When you think about it, we should have been.
People don't like real shit. Let me tell you something, House of Nicole. If people liked real shit, I wouldn't have to tell nobody to hit the like button. If our people truly appreciated real shit, they want somebody to tell them they're a queen. They want somebody to tell them that the black community has no problems. They want to flock to channels where black people just pander to them and tell them what they want to hear. I tell black people what they need to hear, even if they don't like it. Why you think none of these suckers want to bless the like button? Because King Supreme hurts feelings when I deliver this truth. I hurt a lot of feelings when I deliver this truth, but it's for your benefit in the long run. How you gonna preach a message of black empowerment, but you got a wig on your head that comes from China, a wig on your head that comes from Asia? Most of our black brothers in the black community, the FBA community, they're too afraid to tell black women what I just said, unfortunately.
Supporting each other. One other thing that she said it's not really fair though. Like, why are y'all making the Asian businesses suffer? And I said, but do we owe y'all our money? Do we owe y'all our dollars? Why can't we spend our money where we want to spend it? And if we choose to support black businesses, why are you offended? Then this was what really got me. I said, have you ever been in a black business? Have you ever been to a black restaurant? She actually said, I don't know, maybe. I said, well, see, that's the issue, because I don't have to say, oh, I don't know, maybe. I've been in Chinese restaurants, many, and I've been in many nail shops. I've been in many beauty supply stores. I have. I said, so how y'all mad that we are taking our dollars and supporting us? Y'all support y'all. You tell me yourself that y'all have Korean grocery stores and so forth. Y'all support y'all. Well, don't be mad that we want to support us. You know, there's no love lost. We still cool. We still tight. But I knew one of my Asian friends were going to call me and ask me.
Listen to this, foundational black Americans. If we can't be honest with black women or black people, who gonna be honest with them? If we're not going to be honest with them, nobody's going to be honest with them. People lie to black women just to sleep with them. People pander to black people in general to make money. Why you gonna get mad at me for telling black people the truth and tell these busters and suckers not to support my channel or not to hit the like button? the like button. You got a whole hate campaign going against King Supreme on social media. And it's a bunch of dumbass people from our own community that don't like the fact that I'm honest, that don't like the fact that I tell the truth. They pander to black people all day and just tell them what they want to hear. How could we be taken serious when you want to give a message of black empowerment, but you got a whole wig in your head that came from China? How you going to give a message of black empowerment when a wig in your head comes from China? It doesn't make sense. It looks foolish. But people in our community get mad at me for speaking on the obvious. People in our community get mad at me for speaking the obvious. You talk about a bunch of people who don't want to hear the damn truth.
Going out today on this beautiful Saturday, me and two of my daughters, we're going to support some black businesses.
If you value conversations that go deeper than headlines,
now look, she has nothing to offer to the content because she doesn't have our experience. She doesn't share our experience. So here you go. You got an African woman with a lace front wig on her head who don't have the experience to give any real commentary on the situation. She's just using other people's content. This is a prime example of somebody using other people's content, but they don't have the experience to give real commentary on the situation. This woman is a prime example of what I've been talking about. The same thing as that black African man in the beginning on part 1.
hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, turn on your notifications so you never miss future discussions. This channel exists because of you.
She don't have the experience. She don't have the experience to give real commentary on the situation because she's never experienced the things that she's talking about. She's talking about FBA issues to make money to get clicks and views. Everything that I speak about on this channel, it comes from experience. It don't come from reading no book. It don't come from reading stats. Everything that I speak over here, everything that I speak on over here comes from firsthand experience. It ain't based on something that I saw on social media. It ain't based on something that somebody told me. It comes from firsthand experience.
And conversations like this matter because you engage. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay compassionate, and most importantly, stay.
These people speak for 2 minutes and they use other people's content to get views. She has no real commentary. Why? Because she's never experienced the things that she's talking about. It's a grift. She can't give you no real insight to what's going on because she's never experienced it.
Active in the dialogue. If you have missed what was said earlier, go back to the video and watch again. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
BAs say they're going to do to this, and a lot of them don't understand where all this is coming from. They're thinking it's about this Rick Child, right? They say, oh, well, why y'all reacting that way for this one case? I mean, even though we know it's bad and some of them say he should have went to jail, but still this one guy, why do I have to suffer for this one guy? Well, we gonna kind of show you just a few things, right, in the past that's been going on in a lot of your businesses. Because one thing about FBAs, I want everybody to know this and listening, no matter anybody outside of Black America. When we respond, it's never just one time. It's never that you did it once. It's you've been doing it for years. And Black people's type of people that they will forgive. They'll let it go. They say maybe he had a bad day. Maybe she had a bad day. Maybe this person is anti-Black, but it's not all of them. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Black people give you so much benefit of the doubt. Even the people who never deserve it, and we talking about the folks, they still give you the benefit of the doubt. But then once you run out of that with Black America say, all right, I'm done. I don't want to hear it because I didn't gave you so many chances, so much grace, and you still chose to treat us this way. No, we good, pimping. We good. Matter of fact, I'm telling you, I'm that way personally. I'm telling you straight up. I will go along with a person for a very long time. I won't say a whole lot. I say, well, maybe this, maybe that. I know I have like about a 2-year limit though on that. I'll give you sometime maybe 2 years to get it right. But once I get to my point with you, I'm done. And usually the way I do it, people are like, wow, why he move like that? But no, I've been giving you a long time to fix it. And most of the community feel that way. We give you a long time to fix it. We tell you. We plead with you. We ask you. We do all kind of ways to tell you. And you don't listen. And then when we respond, now everybody crying about how Black America is responding to the way we have been treated by this particular community. And it's not just this particular community. It is all these other groups have treated us in the same way as a.
Yes, man. This ain't about one situation. This is much bigger than the cyber situation. We're talking about the mistreatment that's been going on for decades. We're fed up with it. We should have been fed up a long time ago. We should have stopped spending our money with these people a long time ago, but it's better late than never. It is better late than never. Hit the like button, man, and support the content.
Collective of people. Then the crazy part is they mad about it. They treat us horribly in these stores and yet want to get mad and we say, okay, cool. Well, we're going to stay out your store then. No problem. I got so much to play for y'all tonight, but appreciate y'all coming on through, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate y'all. Once again, thank you once again for supporting us on the African Diaspora News Channel app. We greatly appreciate that. Those of you who have supported us from the beginning, some people may join yesterday. Thank you for being supportive of grassroots Black media. Because that
shout out to my man Phil Scott, man. Phil Scott gave me an interview on Red Supreme TV1 when I only had like 5,000, 6,000 subscribers. So shout out to Phil Scott for rocking with your boy when I only had 5 to 6K subs back on my original channel. My original channel that got terminated by the haters. Let's get to it.
That is what we own. Understand this platform is a rented platform, is a leased platform. It is not ownership. Everything we have is on our app, okay? That is the one-stop shop for everything that we do is on our app. So
in businesses. Look, I know many people are angry. They think justice needs to be served. So they want to boycott Asian businesses. I know emotions are high, and if this is how you think there's going to be some justice, okay, I'm okay with it. But then when does it end? When is it, okay, we've boycotted Asian businesses enough, justice is served, now let's move on. I just personally don't think this is the solution. If anything, it produces more tension, creating some unnecessary race war. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Asian business owners that are like, what happened? Where's all my Black customers? They're just trying to make a living. They're just trying to make money. Now, what's the answer? I don't know. If you have any productive recommendations, please comment below.
Shout out to C-Mac for blessing the Cash App with a fine. Right? Shout out to, what's your name? Samson. Shout out to Samson for the 15 on the Cash App. Let's get some more people to become contributors and supporters for some of this hard-hitting content. Listen, Black men, I'm not saying we need to attack our women or bash our women, but at some point, we got to be honest with our Black women if we want them to be better. Telling them that they're queens all day, but never correcting bad behavior is counterproductive. Calling Black women queens all day, but never taking the time to correct their behavior is counterproductive. There's too many men in the FBA community who don't use their platforms to be honest with Black women. That's a major problem. Hit the like button. Listen, man, we should have boycotted these people a long time ago. It shouldn't have why does it take for Rick Child to unalive Cyrus for us to say, okay, enough is enough? We should have did this a long time ago. But like I said earlier, it's better late than never. It is better late than never. I'll say that, man.
But personally, I just don't think boycotting Asian businesses achieves anything.
all right. So the man says he doesn't believe boycotting Asian businesses achieve anything. He says this creates tensions. He even said the word race war. Sir, Now let me talk to you as a person that who do this all the time. And I'm trying to understand your logic here. So Rick Child takes the life of Cyrus Carmack Belton, okay?
Hit the like button if you haven't already. If we can't be honest with our women, we are weak as men. If we can't be honest with our women, and guess what? I want black women to be better. I want black women to do better. So when I say the things that I say about black women, I'm saying it out of love. I'm not saying it because I want to tear them down. I want them to do better. But at first, we got to start by being honest with our women if we want them to be better. You got too many black men in the FBA community with large platforms that get a lot of live viewers. They never take the time to be honest with black women. They'll talk about white supremacy. They'll talk about tethers. They'll talk about racism in this country, but they never take the time to be honest with black women to make them better. That's a major problem. Hit the like button if you haven't already.
He gets off scot-free for doing this, even chasing him down to do it. We just watched Carmelo Anthony, who was being roughed up by Austin Metcalf, and he defended himself, and he went and got 35 years in prison. While your person, your community, shot a young man running away, and he still got off. Okay? We watch Daniel Penny grab Jordan Neely from behind, who wasn't even touching nobody. Now, Jordan Neely has some mental health issues, who don't in New York a lot of times, beyond which you see a lot of mental health issues in New York. But he choked him from behind. He walked away scot-free. Got to take pictures with the president of the United States and the vice president in the skybox. And you still take an issue with black Americans, say, okay, all right, well, this is how we going to respond to this. Economic boycott. Not do nothing to you personally, physically, not commit a crime. Economic boycott. You asked what happened to my black customers. Well, when you had the black customers, this is how you were acting. Let me, not you in particular, sir, not you. But this is how people in your community was acting. Let me go.
Men, we're the leaders of our community, right? If we told black women we're not going to date you if you walk around with these ridiculous wigs and stand on it. But see, so many black men are too horny to stand on business. They're not going to stand on business because they're horny, so they're going to break. They're going to fold under pressure. If black men took a stance and said, we want our women natural, we want our women to be feminine and natural. If you're not feminine and natural, we're not dealing with you. You know how many black women would fall in line if black men really stood on business and said, we only want women who are feminine and natural. We're not going to date you. We're not going to have sex with you if you're not feminine and natural. You know how many black women would convert? You know how many black women would fall in line if black men truly stood on business when it comes to that? The black man is so weak for sex. That's one of many reasons why he can't get no respect for his woman, from his woman, because the black man is weak for sex. All a black woman got to do is show her booty and her body, and he's going to forget about everything we talked about. If the black man stood on business and said the black woman needs to be feminine and natural, if she's not feminine and natural, we're not sleeping with you, we're not giving you no attention, black women would fall in line with their men and fall under the leadership of black men. But it's going to take for black men to be strong, because for one, black men ain't standing on business. So if we don't stand on business, there's no need for black women to follow our leadership. Why would they follow our leadership when we are weak for sex, when we are beta males, tricks, and simps who pay women for sex? They'll never respect us as long as we are tricks who pay for sex, and we're willing to compromise our morals and integrity to get some coochie. As long as black men keep being weak for sex, we'll never get our women to follow our lead, because we're not leading by example. We're too weak for sex. We won't stand on business. We won't lay our foot down. We won't set the standard because we are too weak for sex. That is why most black men won't stand on business. Forget about what Red Supreme said, man. I don't care if that woman got a wig. I don't care if she's mouthy and she's talking back. I still want to sleep with her. Yeah, she's crazy and disrespectful, but I still want to sleep with her. That mentality makes black men weak.
Cue this up.
We still? We gotta test the bus out.
Me. I don't know what
I don't care about you.
Well, get out. Get out.
Bro, you said, she just said we look like we steal.
Get out. Get out. Get out.
Hey, this is the Augusta House store, man. They said it looked like we steal. I just spent $30. Did I not? Did I not just spend?
Why would you ask her in the first
place?
Because
she keeps staring at me. What you mean?
You're staring at us.
I can't even shop in peace. Then she say it looked like you steal.
Just get out. Just get out, please. I don't want any trouble. Get out. Get out. Get out.
I did that. Boy, y'all remember. Look like you said it looked like I steal on.
I gotta watch him. My job.
Boy, I tell you.
So I am currently in the beauty supply store in Norwood by Xavier University. And I had somebody following me so closely, like every time I turned, he turned. Like it was real ridiculous.
Let me say this. If the black man wants the black woman to fall in line, the black man got to stop being so weak. The black man got to stop being so weak for sex. The easiest way to manipulate a black man as a black woman is by showing your booty, is by flaunting your sexuality. The majority of black men gonna fold under pressure. Never mind their integrity. Never mind standing on business. The overwhelming majority of black men are too weak for booty. They are too weak for sex. All a woman got to do is flaunt her sexuality, and the man and the black man's morality go right out of the window. That's how weak black men are today. So I'm not just talking about black women. Black men are too weak, and they're governed by their sexual desires. Black men are controlled by their sexual desires, which is why they can't stand on business when it comes to holding black women accountable, which is why black women will never fall under our leadership collectively, because too many black men are weak when it comes to their sexual desires. We want our women to be feminine and natural, and if black men don't stand on business, then you can't blame the women. You too damn weak to stand on business. You too damn weak to lead your women. So much to the point to where you can't even be honest with your women, even when you have a large platform. I'm saying this to black women out of love because I know black women can be better. But as long as we have weak-ass black men, black women will never be better. They have no leaders to look up to. Too many black men are weak for sex. They're controlled and governed by their sexual desires. Integrity goes out the window. Morality goes out of the window. All she got to do is flaunt her sexuality and show her booty. And the majority of you black men gonna cave under pressure. That's a fact.
Right? A staff member approached me like, you okay? Because they saw the stuff going on. So I politely told them when I came to the front how I felt as a patron of this store, like I was being intimidated because I was black and I did not need to be followed because I'm not going to steal. The gentleman.
Now, shout out to this sister, man. I know I was talking. I want y'all to hear what this sister got to say. And I got love for you, black women. Black women, if you're watching, if you listen, if you're listening and watching, I got love for you. I want y'all to do better. I want black women to get married. I want black women to have successful relationships. So everything that I say to black women and to the black community in general, I am saying it out of love. Please believe it.
Get out.
Hey, this is the Augusta House store, man. They said it looked like we steal. I just spent $30. Did I not? Did I not just spend?
Why would you ask her in the first
place?
Because
she keeps staring at me. What you mean?
You're staring at us.
I can't even shop in peace. Then she say it looked like you steal.
Just get out. Just get out, please. I don't want any trouble. Get out. Get out. Get out.
I did that. Boy, y'all remember. Look like you said it looked like I steal on.
I gotta watch him. My job.
Boy, I tell you.
So I am currently in the beauty supply.
Shout out to Lim Hendricks for blessing us with a 25. Lim Hendricks blessed us with a 25.
Store in Norwood by Xavier University. And I had somebody following me so closely, like every time I turned, he turned. Like it was real ridiculous, right? A staff member approached me like, you okay? Because they saw the stuff going on. So I politely told them when I came to the front how I felt as a patron of this store, like I was being intimidated because I was black and I did not need to be followed because I'm not going to steal. The gentleman here proceeds to then get smart with me, start talking in whatever Korean or whatever language he speaks, and start yelling
So then I start getting loud too. Like, look, no, you need to understand. You guys are minorities as well, and it's wrong to treat people like that.
Well, sister, why do black women feel the need to buy this hair from Asians, to buy this hair from India and China? Do you really depend on that hair? Do you depend on that hair to feel beautiful? If you're going to give a message of black empowerment, you need to look like a black woman. You can't give a message of black empowerment when you got a wig on your head that comes from China, India. That defeats the purpose of black empowerment when you're rocking hair that comes from other races of people. Learn how to do your natural hair. You don't see Asian women walking around with black women's hair. You don't see Asian women walking around buying hair that comes from black women, but you do see black women walking around buying hair that comes from Asian women. No one's going to take you serious at that point. How you going to boycott Asians when you're still wearing hair that comes from China and India? Make it make sense.
Patronize them, and then they treat us with disrespect. They got their phones on me. I don't care about none of that. They threaten to call the police on me, but what they need to understand is, like I told them, call the police, because I have a right to express how I feel as a patron of this store. I said that you also should probably, let's do this together, sis. I said that you all should probably understand that how customers feel when you all are being rude.
What's your badge number? Give us your badge number. What's your badge number? That's why you're saying that. What's your badge number? You went to the police, you wouldn't say that. Don't you worry. What's your badge number? You wouldn't say that. Don't worry. What's your badge number? Give us your badge number. What's your badge number? That's why you're saying that. What's your badge number? You went to the police, you wouldn't say that. Don't you worry. What's your badge number? You wouldn't say that. Don't worry. What's your badge number?
Why do black women keep going to these nail shops? Stop buying wigs that come from India and China. Stop going to these nail shops. How you going to stand on business? How you going to stand on black empowerment when you can't keep Asian and Indian women hair out of your head? You can't keep hair out of your head that comes from China or India, but you want to speak black empowerment. Come on, man, make it make sense. I'm not bashing. I just want you to do better. I am not bashing. I just want you to do better. Please use common sense. How you going to boycott Asians when you still got a wig in your head that comes from China? Make it make sense, man. Then you're still going to the Asian nail salons. You're still going to buy their beauty products. But at the same time, you got hair in your head that comes from Asia, China. But you want to give a message of black empowerment. I mean, make it make sense.
What's your badge number? You wouldn't say that. Don't worry. What's your book?
I'll pay your $10. It ain't even worth it.
A Chesapeake father wants justice after he says his daughter was among a group of girls wrongly locked inside a business for a crime they didn't commit.
My daughter and her friends won't ever forget about that. So I just think that's wrong.
Police say the incident happened last Friday at Coco Beauty Supply in the Parkview Shopping Center. The owner of the store says a little over a week ago, a group of girls stole over $1,000 in merchandise. So they printed off this surveillance picture of the suspects and handed them out to nearby businesses in hopes of catching them. Then this past Friday, Reuben Houston says his 16-year-old daughter and 3 of her friends were at the subway in that same shopping center when they noticed a security guard was following them. He says they walked into the beauty.
Now, come on, black women. Y'all got to stop stealing these wigs. You dig? Stop stealing wigs. You dig? You don't see no other races of women going to these beauty stores to rob Asian people for these wigs. You only see black women doing it. Now they say, well, white women wear wigs too. Latino women wear wigs too. But you don't see you don't see white women and Asian women robbing Asian beauty stores for weave. You only see black women robbing Asian stores for weave because black women have an addiction to Asian hair. They have an addiction to hair that comes from China and India. Black women, please you need to love your own natural hair. You need to love your own natural hair. You don't see no other race of women going into these Asian beauty stores stealing weave. You only see black women doing that. I don't say that because I'm trying to bash black women. I'm saying that because it's a major problem.
A Chesapeake father wants justice after he says his daughter was among a group of girls wrongly locked inside a business for a crime they didn't commit.
Now, if you're going to charge black women for a crime they didn't commit, that's sad. I'm not condoning that. Don't accuse them of doing something they didn't do, but I got to be real. The only women that you see robbing these Asian beauty stores for weave is you only see black women doing that. Black women have an addiction to non-black hair. This is why they treat you so bad when you go into their establishments. They look at you like you're going to steal. They look at you like you're going to take from their business. Why? Because you've had so many black women who have robbed these Asian stores for weave. If that doesn't prove that the black woman needs a reality check, the black woman has to learn to love her natural hair. Stop buying hair from these Asians. Why do you need a wig from China? Why do you need a wig from India? What's wrong with your natural hair? What's wrong with loving what is wrong with loving the hair that God gave you? Huh?
My daughter and her friends won't ever forget about that. So I just think that's wrong.
When you steal hair that comes from other races of women, it means that you hate your own hair. Now, if they're accusing black women of stealing that wasn't stealing, that's wrong as well. So
They say the incident happened last Friday at Coco Beauty Supply in the Parkview Shopping Center. The owner of the store says a little over a week ago, a group of girls stole over $1,000 in merchandise. So they printed off this surveillance picture of the suspects and handed them out to nearby businesses in hopes of...
So you had 3 black women that robbed this Asian store. So after that, every time black women came in the store, the Asians was looking like, man, these black women gonna rob us. They gonna steal. So they was on guard because they say if they robbed us before, they'll do it again. Because guess what? I bet you ain't listen. I bet you they ain't got no videos of white women or Latino women robbing them for weave. You only have videos of black women robbing them for weave. So when black women go to the store, black women who ain't even got no plans on stealing they ain't even got plans on stealing nothing. They get lumped in the same category as the black women who robbed them for weave. So everybody who's black becomes a suspect. That's exactly how it goes. That's how it be happening. 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 Now, every time black women go into this beauty store, they're looking at you like you're going to steal weave.
Catching them. Then this past Friday, Reuben Houston says his 16-year-old daughter and 3 of her friends were at the subway in that same shopping center when they noticed a security guard was following them. He says they walked into the beauty supply store a few businesses down. Shortly after entering, Houston says a manager locked the girls inside.
My daughter asked them why can't we leave? She says, you'll find out.
That's when Chesapeake police say they were called and responded about 10 minutes later. After a quick investigation, police realized the girls were not involved with the previous shoplifting incident and they were let go. Houston filed a police report and says he believes this was a case of racial profiling.
I personally think that everybody's going to be a suspect. If you have braids or weave and you're black, I mean, even the kids are suspects now. I mean, I guess mine was.
I mean, you have to understand this. If you're an Asian, I got to be real. I gotta put some paint where it ain't. If I'm Asian and I've been robbed by black women who came in to steal weave, I'm gonna be weary. I'm gonna be on guard when black women come into my store. If I've been robbed by black women before, black women who robbed us for weave. I gotta be real. If I'm a black man that's operating the store, that's running the store, and I get robbed by white people that fit a certain description. So when I see black women or when I see other white people that fit that description, my antennas are gonna go up because every time I got robbed, it was white people. So when black women rob these Asian beauty stores for weave, they're gonna look at every black woman that comes into that store as a suspect. That's the unfortunate reality. It's just the unfortunate reality. If you're used to white people, if white people be racist to you, and you see another group of white people who fit that description, your antennas are going to be up because you've dealt with this already. The moral of the story is this: black women, stop stealing weave. That's the main reason for these Asians stereotyping all black women, because every time they get robbed for weave and lace front wigs, it's black women who are doing it. It's black women that are doing it. I'm not saying this to down my sisters. I want to crown my sisters, but I got to be honest. I got to speak the obvious. If you was an Asian and you say, well, why put business in the black community? That's because black people spend their money with these people. So of course they're going to put businesses in your community if you're going to spend your money with them. But at the same time, if let's say you're an Asian business owner, every time you got robbed for weave, it was black women, your antennas will go up every time black women come into your store, because every time you've been robbed for this weave, it was black women who did it. Let's use common sense, people. I got to call a spade a spade. You don't see white women robbing Asians for weave. You don't see Latino women robbing Asians for weave. The only group of women that robs Asians for weave are black women.
I spoke with the beauty supply manager who locked the girls inside. She says it all started because a Subway employee called security on the girls, thinking they looked like the suspects. She sincerely apologized and says she only locked them in.
And I'm saying this, of course, Asians are going to put businesses in our community because we spend our money with them. But stop putting businesses in our community. Why would they stop putting businesses in our community if we're going to spend all our money with them? Make it make sense. It's capitalism. America was built off of capitalism. So why would they stop spending? Why would they stop putting businesses in our communities when we're known to spend our money? Let's make it make sense.
Because the security guard told her to do so.
All right, sir. So that's just a couple of the greatest hits, and it's way more than that. Oh, it's so much more than that. And it's quite interesting that you got black people plastered all on your beauty supply store. You're not even diverse in how you do it. I never see white women on your wall, on the store on the outside. I don't see Latinas. I don't even see other Asian women. It's nothing but black women that y'all be putting outside these stores. And the same black women that walk in those stores, you're criminalizing them. Now,
we got to be real, Phil. If you get robbed by a particular group of people, your antenna is going to go up. Now, you want the money, but at the same time, you're going to be weary when this particular group of people come in your store. Let's just say every time your store got robbed, it was white people. So when you see white people come in your store, your antenna is going to go up. Now, I do say that black people need to stop spending their money. Black people need to stop going to their stores. Of course, I support that message. But at the same time, I got to be honest with the people, and black people, if you don't want to hear the truth, then middle finger to you. I don't want nothing to do with you either. Let's use common sense here. If black women are the only ones robbing these Asians for weave, of course they're going to racially profile black women when they come in these stores, because black women are the only people that's robbing them for weave. Stop going to their stores. Stop stealing weave. Learn to take pride in your God-given natural hair. That could easily eliminate that problem. That's a simple solution. If black women love to learn that, if they learn to love their natural hair, there will be no reason to steal weave from Asians.
Nobody supports theft. I don't support that. But come on, every black person that walk in is not stealing. So back to the gentleman. So you see why, just a little bit, sir, the one in LA was saying white power. See, we got to deal with.
What I'm saying is, it's not cool to racially profile every black person that comes into the store. But if every time you're robbed is by a black person, their natural instinct would be to watch black people, because you don't have white women robbing these stores for weave. You don't have you don't have Latino women robbing these stores for weave. So of course their antennas are going to go up. The solution is this: black women need to love their natural hair and stop spending money at these stores. Then you ain't got to worry about being racially profiled. If black women love to learn their natural hair, if they learn to love their natural hair, then you ain't got to be racially profiled when you go in these businesses. The simple solution is to learn. The simple solution is to love your own natural God-given hair. That is a simple solution. Of course, they're going to racially profile you when every time they've been robbed for weave, it was black women. Of course, they're going to racially profile you. When we think about racism and white supremacists, we think about white people and white tea people sympathizers. So, of course, we're going to be looking out for that. If every time we deal with racism, it comes from a particular group of people. Black women, the simple solution is this: stay up out of these damn stores. Then you ain't got to worry about being racially profiled. The solution is to stay out of the damn store. Quit spending your damn money. Simple solution.
People from your community, sir, that wants to be on team white supremacy. And one thing that we're not dealing with anymore, period, that's why we say it's no coalition. The coalition days are done. Too many of you immigrate to this country, and some from the diaspora too, immigrate from this country, and you want to assimilate into white supremacy. And then you start attacking us. But see, the difference is with a lot of the folks versus you is that a lot of your businesses is ingrained in the black community. You sit up here.
Of course, they're going to put businesses in the black community because black people spend their money. If I was an Asian, I would put businesses in black communities because I know black people going to spend their money. It's called capitalism. America was built on capitalism. The United States was built on that. If I was from Won Tong and I was Asian, you're damn right I'm going to put a business in the black community, because one thing that I know for sure is that black people going to come spend their money. I'm going to capitalize off of all of that if I was an Asian. It's black people's job to stop spending money at these businesses. It's black people's job to start businesses in our own community so that we can spend money with our own damn people. Simple solution. It ain't rocket science.
Sell food that you wouldn't even eat. They always say if you don't see Asians eating in them restaurants, don't eat there. They always say that's a rule of thumb. They give y'all any old thing. How many times have they busted them with the way they handle food, busted them with having rodent meat and all kind of things in these places? They busted them. If you really want that food that bad, black folk, you can cook it yourself. You mean tell me FBAs don't know how to cook Asian food? We can cook every kind of, man, we are FBAs. We can cook anything. And it's okay for black people to open up a Chinese restaurant if they want to. Maybe they want to open a fusion restaurant. You know what I'm saying? You can open whatever restaurant you want. You want to open up a Mexican restaurant? A FBA can open whatever we want. We don't have to be the pigeonhole just a soul food restaurants. I want y'all to understand that. If we want to open Italian food, we can do it. We're not pigeonholed to just soul food. Now, yes, I love soul food, don't get me wrong. But we can do whatever we want. Think about it. If a brother or sister have a big poppin' Chinese restaurant, let's say this dude learned in China how to cook it, and yet he doing his own thing with it, or she doing her own thing with it. You know, the food is food. Food is global, okay? And so that's what it is. And when we cook food, we're not going to do the things that they have been caught doing. Right? Now, let's go back to this guy here. He asked, how long is going to last? Now, you ask that question because you're not taking it seriously.
The reason why the Asian man asks how long will it last, because their economy is hurting, because they can't get those black dollars like they're used to getting. So he's saying, well, the Asian boycott needs to end. boycotting Asian business is Asian hate. No, it ain't Asian hate. It's black people, it's foundational black Americans doing what's best for themselves, moving forward. Ain't got nothing to do with no Asian hate.
And I understand why. Because there's so many times that black people have said, we're going to boycott their businesses or whatever. And then I have to say this, you go right back to them within 2 weeks.
Black people go right back to them. One thing the Asians know is this. They know black people gonna they gonna talk their stuff. They gonna boycott. They gonna do all of this. It's kind of like when you had a girlfriend and she get mad at you. I'm gonna block you. I don't want to talk to you no more. I hate you. And you know she's just speaking from her emotions and feelings. You will be having sex with her 2 days later or a week later, maybe even 2 at the most. But she's gonna tell you, I hate you. I don't want you talking to me. I'm gonna block your phone number. I don't want nothing to do with you. Now, you know she's just in her emotions and feelings. You'll be having sex with her a week later. Let her vent. Let her get her frustrations. Let her speak from her emotions. You already know that. That's exactly how Asians look at black people. Yeah, they're going to throw a temper tantrum. Yeah, they're going to say boycott Asian business. In 2 weeks, they'll be right back to spending their money. In 2 weeks, black folks going to be right back to spending their money. Black people are very emotional. They're governed by their feelings. They're going to throw temper tantrums. They're going to do all of that. Give it 2 weeks. They'll be right back to spending money at our establishments, at our businesses. Give it 2 weeks. That's exactly how Asians look at black folks. Every one of us had a girlfriend that told us, I hate you. I don't want to talk to you no more. I'm going to block you. I'm going to block your phone number. I'm going to block you on social media. She going to say all of that. She's in her emotions. The woman is just in her feelings. She'll be back to regular scheduled programming within a week. That's exactly how Asians look at black folks. Let these black folks throw a temper tantrum. They'll be right back to spend their money in 2 weeks.
Right? Now, let's go back to this guy here. He asked, how long is going to last? Now, you ask that question because you're not taking it seriously. And I understand why. Because there's so many times that black people have said, we're going to boycott their businesses or whatever. And then I have to say this, you go right back to them within 2 weeks, if not a week. So this is why he said, okay, all right. You get it out your system, justice be served, all of that. Okay, guys, can y'all go ahead on just end this? I mean, come on, y'all doing too much. What did the man say? They just trying to make money off of us. None of that money is coming to the black community. And listen, when immigrants come to this country, they come here to make money. They come here like the sister in the video said, I come to take. That's what they come to.
I don't want nobody to block this clown. Somebody said the host of this show is half Mexican. The host of this show is half Mexican. That's hilarious. Oh, man, that made my day. I got to be honest with you, man. That made my day. King Supreme is half Mexican, y'all. Some bozo on it. Some bozo say, yeah, man, King Supreme, the host of the show, he half Mexican.
They come to take money and whatever. They're not here to benefit nothing we got going on. We don't benefit from no immigration. These people, they're coming out our communities. They don't say, you know what, man, the black community really support us and man, I put my kids through some good schools and we live great. You know what? Let me make sure to give back. Y'all won't even hire black people in a black neighborhood. Y'all won't even hire them. You refuse to. I just did a video the other day on the Emancipation Media channel where a sister from Harlem was like, I went over to the Asian business looking for a job, looked at me like I was crazy. In a black area. That's how cold y'all are with it. You won't even hire black people. You don't give back to the community. You know, Juneteenth is coming up. You know, like if y'all gave back to the community, like, man, you know, let's have some Juneteenth event or something. Shoot. Because if 90% of my business is coming from black people, hey, let's celebrate Juneteenth. I'm game. Hey, man, shoot, Black History Month. Man, I'm giving y'all a discount all February. I'll give you a 10% discount for Black History Month. Because my business is in the black community or whatever community, I'm going to celebrate whatever they got. So if my business was in the Chinese neighborhood, They talking about Chinese New Year. I'm celebrating Chinese New Year with them. Why? Because that's my customer base, and that's what keep my family fed. So I'm going to keep them happy. I'm not going to say some craziness about Chinese people. I'm not going to lock Chinese kids in a restaurant. I'm not going to do or beauty supply store, whatever I got. I'm not going to do that to them.
See, the Asian community knows that they don't have to respect us to get our money. They've been pimping on the black community for decades. Why do they need to respect black people now when they've been getting away with disrespecting them for decades in black communities? I mean, why would they change now? I mean, make it make sense. They know that black people still gonna spend their money. Black people gonna throw a temper tantrum. They're gonna make videos on social media. In 2 weeks, all these black people they're gonna go right back to these Asian businesses to spend their money in 2 weeks. These Asian people know that. How do they know that? Because it's pattern recognition. It is called pattern recognition. Black people got a pattern. Black people have habits. They know you're gonna come back to spend your money. They know it. Now, some of these Asian people are panicking because they see the FBA movement online. They said, no, man, black people might be serious this time. But then you have those Asians who say, man, black people have been talking about boycotting us for years, man. We ain't worried about that. Let those blacks throw their temper tantrums. Let them vent. Let them say whatever they want to say. They'll be back spending their money with us in 2 weeks. Let black people blow off some steam. They'll be right back. They ain't going nowhere. It's called pattern recognition.
I'm going to try to do what I can to be the great guy in the Chinese community because that's how my family eating. But a lot of y'all have not respected black folks a long time. So for years, for a long time, y'all have been hella disrespectful to black folk. Hella disrespectful. In the way black people have been treated when giving you their money. That first video, the dude paid $30. So it's not like he's went in there just looking around. And he still was treated crazy. The woman looking at him like he crazy. After he spent money. But we wrong. Black America, you wrong. You're wrong for want to keep your money in your pocket. These people really believe, and it's not just them, it's all these other groups. They really believe they own our money, that we have no right to say where we spend our money that we own. And let me tell y'all something else. You ready? We're not as lazy as your lies are, right? Lazy people don't have a $2 trillion buying power. That's not lazy people. Don't y'all ever sit here and let nobody tell you that black America is lazy. Lazy people don't earn money. Lazy people earn zero.
Well, they're programmed to believe that, right? Too lazy. Why you think that Mexican came to City Hall in Chicago and said, no more money for you, Chulesi, you blacks, Chulesi? Where you think he got that mindset from? They told him. The first thing they tell immigrants when they come here, blacks are lazy. We're gonna give you guys the jobs that blacks don't want. When in reality, black people been there and done that. But immigrants are too ignorant to understand the history of this country. So they believe everything that white folks tell them. They believe in the propaganda. Why you think that Mexican man in Chicago was so comfortable at that city hall meeting saying that Chulesi, no more money for you? He was very comfortable saying that because he was programmed to believe that black people are lazy. He was programmed to believe that all black people are criminals. Chulesi, no more money for you.
If we were so lazy, why are you worrying about black people boycotting? We were lazy, right? Because that's what a lot of these other. That's not lazy people. Don't y'all ever sit here and let nobody tell you that black America is lazy. Lazy people don't earn money. Lazy people earn zero. If we were so lazy, why are you worrying about black people boycotting? We were lazy, right? Because that's what a lot of these other groups like to say about black people. Y'all lazy. You don't take the opportunities. You're lazy. You're lazy. We got a $2 trillion buying power, and we didn't leave our homeland to come to another one. Talking about the people who never left. Understand? You did. You want our money. We're not crying for you. You can tell us today, we're going to boycott your business. Like, okay, go ahead. We know you're not our customer base like that. You're not. We're not tripping. Then the original dude who posted that challenge video, the Challenge Black America, he took that down. I mean, stand on business. Now, let's follow this up. But this one sister that she was in the midst of they TikToks. Let's cue up what this sister had to say about what they were saying over there.
I found myself in Asian people business, and this is what I found out. They mad about that boycott. They real mad about that boycott. They saying that if that boy went in that store trying to steal them bottles of water, even though it was been proven so many different times that that boy did not try to steal them bottles of water, he would not have been put on a t-shirt. In fact, mind you, I'm only the messenger. This is exactly what they said. They said that they tired of these. Those are their exact words, okay? They also are saying that if y'all are so anti-Asian and y'all don't want to use none of our, make sure you don't use nothing made in China. Make sure you don't buy none of our wigs and weaves. Don't go to our hair stores. Don't go to our restaurants, our corner stores. Don't do nothing. They said stay up out of our, they said they tired of y'all broke coming and they stealing. Then all in the same breath, they're upset that we don't want to be racially profiled every time we want to go and patronize any of these businesses. Yeah, they're saying that we're playing the Asian hate card, although when we're going in these same Asian businesses that are in our communities, we're being followed around. You know, we're being accused of stealing. You know, y'all are trying to enforce these rules on the people that are quote unquote supposed to be patronizing your business. Then you got the PR princess. The power to the people, okay? Child, they are going working overtime, making video after video how they stand with the black community, and they're just so ashamed, and, you know, that they understand why black people don't want to patronize Asian businesses. But yet, when you're at the dinner table with your mom and dad and your grandma and everybody at the table, and they're openly being racist, you're not doing or saying anything. You see, you're power to the people and you support the black community when black people are in the room. But when black people are no longer in that room, are you still having that same stance and viewpoint? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Hey, y'all, I just wanted to share with everybody online that this beauty supply store, New World Beauty Supply Store, is now out of business. It's out of business because you guys boycotted the Asian-owned New World Beauty Supply Store. This is what I'm talking about. It is now closed. This is located in Los Angeles, and it's been closed for a week now.
I told you, man, that blacks in LA been standing on business. I had a conversation about this earlier, how this Asian store in Los Angeles is going out of business because black folks ain't spending their money. Shout out to my FBA people in Los Angeles for standing on business. Los Angeles, stand on business. Hopefully everybody else will follow suit.
You're at the dinner table with your mom and dad and your grandma and everybody at the table, and they're openly being racist. You're not doing or saying anything. You see, you're power to the people and you support the black community when black people are in the room. But when black people are no longer in that room, are you still having that same stance and viewpoint? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Hey, y'all, I just wanted to share with everybody online that this beauty supply store, New World Beauty Supply Store, is now out of business. It's out of business because you guys boycotted the Asian-owned New World Beauty Supply Store. This is what I'm talking about. It is now closed. This is located in Los Angeles, and it's been closed for a week now. And I know it's because y'all stopped supporting these people, and you guys really send a message that no, we don't need to support Asian-owned beauty supply stores. This one is located in Los Angeles, but they're all over the country. We need to boycott all of them. And if they want our money back, basically they're going to have to approach our community with condolences for the 14-year-old that was killed by another Asian owner. And they're going to have to do more than that. But yeah, it's closed, y'all. Good job.
Well, you know.
Shout out to my people in Los Angeles for standing on business. I had a conversation about this earlier. People in my community have boycotted the liquor stores, the Asian businesses that was put in my community. Shout out to Los Angeles for standing on FBA business. Let's get to the content.
And shout out to the sister who's doing some good recon, in what they're saying about us as black people. So they're not apologetic about anything. They're just pissed off at you. Because how dare you, black people? So you remember we talked about last night about the collective self-esteem of black America and how black America for a very long time had this low self-esteem. That's why you beg for coalitions. You beg because you always wanted a friend. You always want a friend. If anybody just acknowledge you, you're like, oh my God, it's great, right? And now what's happening and what I have been seeing happening, which is a beautiful thing, mind you, your collective self-esteem is starting to raise. And when your collective self-esteem starts to raise, you're like, I don't need nobody. I'm good. Man, I got my community. What I need from them? Man, we got a whole $2 trillion that we make as a collective. Well, I don't need nothing from none of y'all. That's when you understand your power. That's when you understand your high collective self-esteem. Once you understand that you are the culture, not a culture, you're the culture. That's what also, like me, example, you know why I don't worry about, oh man, maybe I need to do some stuff to maybe cross over and try to I don't have to cross over crap. You know why I don't have to cross over anything? Because I am part of the culture. Everybody want to be a part of the culture. I don't have to go chase nobody else's culture. All these different countries throughout the world is copying my culture. We're not copying theirs. Let's call it what it is. In a lot of these Asian countries, what hairstyles are they trying to do? Our hairstyles. What music are they trying to do? Our music. Look, K-pop, it comes directly from our music. They do hip hop in Japan. They do all these different places. They doing us. We not doing them. We not walking around with no kimonos or nothing else over here in America. We are the trendsetters. We are the culture. And they get mad. Oh, black Americans think they.
Hey man, shout out to Phil. Now I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I didn't hear nobody else saying that. I was saying we are the trendsetters, we are the culture. I've been saying that for the last few years. And King Supreme love the rhyme when I speak. I love the rhyme when I speak. So I think that comes from King Supreme. We are the trendsetters, we are the culture. Put a 1 in the chat if you put a 1 in the chat. If you remember King Supreme saying that, we are the trendsetters, we are the culture. I've been saying that for years. It rhymes, and everybody know that I love the rhyme when I speak, when I talk. Shout out to Phil, though. That's my boy. I support Phil heavy in the game. Shout out to the African Diaspora channel. Shout out to Phil Scott. That's my dog.
Main characters, because we are the main character. That's why a lot of you don't like us. And we're not even trying to be. That's the interesting part. We're not trying to be the main character. It's just in us to be the main character. Main character energy, whatever it is. Even the folks don't like that about us. That they got all this power and everything they have, and they still not the main character. They still looked at as lame. And the only time they even get halfway some acknowledgement is when they mimicking us. You can go all the way back to Elvis Presley, to whoever. They got to copy and mimic who we are because we are the culture. We are the salt of America. Take us away from America and you have nothing. And them folks can't stand us for that either. But they know they don't want us gone either. And see how the sisters talking about how some of them responding about they pissed off, but at the same time they like, well, when they gonna stop spend money with us? That's how the folks feel too. They are angry and upset with us all the time.
It ain't been on YouTube for the longest. Like I come up with catchphrases all the time. I said, never lead with your wallet, lead with logic. I got a lot of sayings that I've said it without hearing anybody else saying. I've been saying we are the trendsetters, we are the culture. We spin the wheels, we make everything turn in this country. Foundational Black Americans stand up. Now, I'm proud of my people in Los Angeles for standing on business. That's why I showed you the video of that Asian business, that Asian store going out of business because FBA wasn't spending no money no more. Shout out to my people in Los Angeles for standing on FBA business. Spend money with your own people. Go to the black woman to get your hair done. Go to the black woman to get your beauty supplies. If you want hair care products, you should go to a black woman or black people who are selling it. Foundational black American people who are selling it. Listen, I had this conversation with Lotus earlier. I said this to Lotus earlier, and Lotus is in the chat. She could. Lotus will tell you. I had a conversation with her about FBA in Los Angeles standing on business and not spending money with these Asians who put businesses in our community. I had this conversation earlier, way before I went live. Yeah, check game.
But at the same time, they can't take a boycott from us either. Listen, Dr. King showed us one good year. One good year. That's, or it could be permanent, but one good year of boycott, sustained boycott, they will change laws and it will break businesses. One good year, one sustained year. That's all. And listen, if we do one sustained year and make an example, then these other groups will be like, yeah, let me go on and leave them alone. I may not like them, but yeah. And see, at that point, remember we talked about last night how, the ADL and how they move and things like that. See, that's moving like them. That's a economic punishment.
So shout out to Phil Scott, man. That's my dog, man. I wanted to share that with y'all. Hopefully you guys continue to stay involved with this game. King Supreme. Shout out to the lovely ladies. You always love looking at some lovely ladies with a nice, beautiful body. Shout out to Reckless Podcast. I'm going to be at you, man.
Video about it. So naturally, I went looking at the history because this conversation isn't really about just one video, right? The very second that Black people start talking economics, where our money goes, who profits from it, who builds wealth off our communities, people get uncomfortable. That same discomfort doesn't appear when other groups do the same thing. Every immigrant community that's come to this country has done it. Jewish, Chinese, Korean, Italian, Indian, Armenian, pooling resources, building businesses, keeping their money inside their communities for as long as possible. Nobody finds that controversial, though. But what they fail to recognize is that we understood the same thing. We had to. After slavery, Black communities built banks, hospitals, insurance companies, schools, newspapers, whole business districts. The Greenwood neighborhood in Tulsa, Oklahoma had 191 businesses. It had 2 schools, a hospital, and a library, all by 1921. They called it Black Wall Street. But on May 31st, 1921, a white mob attacked it. 2 days of looting, burning, and shooting. But it's us, right? We're the problem. 35 square blocks destroyed. More than 1,200 Black homes, businesses, schools, and churches, y'all, burned to the ground. World War I era planes dropped bombs from the sky on the Greenwood neighborhood. The official death toll was 36. But we know the estimates were around 300 Black people killed, murdered. The survivors were rounded up and held in internment camps in their own city. They were issued identification cards and couldn't leave without permission from a white supervisor. Insurance companies refused every claim. They had something called a riot clause. Not a single Black resident ever received financial assistance to rebuild. So when somebody gets on the internet and tells Black people that our money doesn't matter, I automatically think they're a dumbass, a racist dumbass. Corporations spend billions chasing Black consumers. Political campaigns spend millions trying to reach Black voters. Entire industries are built around marketing to Black communities. Our money matters. It mattered enough to burn a city for it in 1921. It mattered enough to redline neighborhoods for the next 50 years. It matters enough that every quarter, somebody's profit and loss statement depends on us showing up. Apparently our money matters right up until we start talking about where we want to spend it. Then all of a sudden it doesn't. Right? Nobody's entitled to Black customers. We spend our money where we want. That's how markets work. That's how capitalism works. That's how every other community inside this country operates. The fact that this becomes a controversy every time Black people say it out loud tells me that this was never about money. It was about leverage. And this country has been comfortable with Black spending. It's Black leverage that's always made them nervous. But if you know anything about me, you know I love a good challenge. Shop Black. Spend with your people. I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. We going to show you better than we can tell you. Invest in Black businesses. Build the community. Y'all, we are overdue.
What are your thoughts, Crystal, about this?
First and foremost, let's look at the elephant in the room. You want to be Black. The way you're wearing your hat, the way you're speaking, everything you're saying, sweetheart, you learned English from watching these same rap videos that you're talking about. Stop playing with me. Secondly, let's really talk about it. The African-American dollar hits target. You saw this. If we pull our money away, the economy...
See, I agree with this sister and everything she's saying, but you got a wig on your head that comes from China. Why is it so hard for Black women to look like Black women when they're giving a message of Black empowerment? This message is Black empowerment. You ain't got no damn business with a wig in your head that comes from Brazil or China. Come on, man. Now, outside of her appearance, I agree with what she's saying, but Black women need to look like Black women. You come up here with these lace front wigs that is hair from non-Black women, preaching a message of Black empowerment. Make it make sense. The best thing she could have did was come up here with her natural hair. How you gonna talk Black empowerment, but your wig comes from China? That's a clear contradiction. Come on, Black women. I need y'all to do better with this. That wig comes from China. Please do better.
Will crash. Black dollar is over 1.9 trillion. The economy will crash. If we pull our money away.
It's like Black women. If you want to be taken serious with a message of Black empowerment, you need to stop filming videos with these wigs from China. I mean, I'm just saying.
The economy will crash. Black dollar is over 1.9 trillion. Asian dollar is less than $1 trillion.
That's right.
They only support their own color.
That's right.
Yet you build beauty supplies, Chinese restaurants, nail salons. As soon as a plaza comes up, what's the first thing that drops in it?
Chinese restaurant.
Especially in a Black area.
Yeah.
Why? Because no one else is going to spend with you. Those same white people in that white neighborhood that you live in, you do that because you want to blend in, but you still need the Black dollar.
See, this is a beautiful Black woman. I got to be real with you. This is a beautiful Black woman. I like chocolate Black women. I like caramel Black women. I like light-skinned Black women. I'm attracted to Black women. I got love for Black women. But at the same time, I got to be real with you, and I'm being real with you out of love. When you want to preach a message of Black empowerment, stop doing videos with wigs from China. Please quit doing that. Learn to love your natural God-given hair and make videos showing that.
To be relatable. So please, don't speak for all Asians because I know he can't. Not every Asian thinks this way. There's some beautiful Asian people out there, and I know a lot of them. But sir, you want to be Black. You want to be Tu Wong Fu Waka Flocka Jack. Like, stop playing with me, please. pick a side and move.
The business owner, like the Asian business owners, Chinese, Korean, I never know like which is which when I'm looking at them or talking to them, but they are in an uproar right now. They are so upset because it is said that their businesses are getting boycotted, that their parking lots are empty based off of a not guilty verdict that's recently happened prior to this weekend. And there's a lot of people upset, and people are really upset at the Asian community. I have never ever seen an Asian go off before until today. I have never seen a Korea or a Chinese person go off and just go in so hard until I seen it today on TikTok. These people are pissed. Allegedly, one Asian came back and said that we actually need them, that we can't make it without their businesses. They said everything that we buy is made in China, made in Korea, and so on and so on. The guy basically said that we cannot make it without their products. But yet, I don't think that he completely lied. If you go into our stores, 90% of what's on those shelves in the store, made in China. The next time you go to Walmart, Target, or any of those stores, pick up one of those coffee cups, look at the bottom of it, made in China. Your spoons, knife, and fork set, turn it over and look at it, made in China. The next time you go buy a blanket or something, look at the tag on the blanket, made in China. So they are talking, bro, and these people are pissed because they feel like the boycott is really affecting their businesses. And if it's true, and some of the videos I seen on TikTok today is true, and they're not made up AI videos, it looks like that boycott is taking effect extremely fast. One lady pulled up to 3 of the nail salons, and every last one of them was empty, man. Now, I don't know if those nail salons open on
The victims. Why are we the victims? I mean, why are we the victims? I mean, my friends are good Christians. I mean, we've been through so much, and to go through this, I mean, everything 22 years down the drain.
Many Koreans who yesterday were the shopkeepers of South Central Los Angeles today have lost the businesses they took years to create.
What can I say? I don't have any word to say. That's really a comeback, John.
George Huang woke this morning to find his mini mall burnt to the ground. A loss of $1.5 million and a lifetime of dreams and effort.
I don't mind that. Whatever they need, take it out. But why they burn out?
Watch this right here. These businesses got burned down in Los Angeles in the 1991 riots or the 1992 riots when they unalived Latasha Harlins. This Asian woman, this Korean woman, shot Latasha Harlins in the back of the head as she tried to pay for a bottle of orange juice. She walked out of the store. Asian woman shoots our sister in the back of the head and only gets probation. No accountability. She's not held accountable. There's no street justice. Well, the street justice was to burn down Asian businesses in South Central Los Angeles back in 1992.
Why are we the victims? I mean, my friends are good Christians. I mean, we've been through so much, and to go through this, I mean, everything 22 years down the drain.
Many Koreans who yesterday were the shopkeepers of South Central Los Angeles today have lost the businesses they took years to create.
What can I say? I don't have any word to say. That's really a comeback, John.
George Huang woke this morning to find his mini mall burnt to the ground. A loss of $1.5 million and a lifetime of dreams and effort.
I don't mind that. Whatever they need, take it out. But why they burn out the property? That's my question.
41 Korean businesses in South Central have been torched, dozens looted. In this overwhelmingly black and Hispanic area, Koreans own many of the small businesses. They're insular, they employ their own, they keep to themselves. Blacks say that's the problem.
I'm not surprised that the Koreans got targeted because their prices are high, their attitude is wrong, and they just don't seem to have any respect for the black community.
You know how it all started? The first thing when a girl got killed from the Oriental.
March 16th, 1991. Latasha Harlins, a black teenager, is shot and killed by a Korean store owner, Sunja-do. Do is convicted of voluntary manslaughter, but is sentenced only to parole and a small fine. The black community is outraged and remembers.
What, 6 months probation? I mean, the people were pissed then.
Today, local Korean radio is broadcasting which stores in the area are threatened. Young men like Eddie Kim rush over to try to defend them.
I don't care about the racism.
I'm going to take you back to this. This woman assaulted, this woman put her hands on Latasha. Latasha had the money in her hand to pay for the orange juice. This lady grabbed Latasha by her shirt as she tried to walk out of the store. She pushed the lady like, get up off me. I'm trying to give you the money. The lady was just, something was wrong with her. She shoots 14-year-old Latasha in the back of the head and gets parole and probation. There's no street justice. She's a free woman. Now, you would say the street justice was to burn down all these Asian communities in South Central Los Angeles, to burn down Asian businesses in South Central Los Angeles. Hit the like button. I want y'all to peep this again.
In this overwhelmingly black and Hispanic area, Koreans own many of the small businesses. They're insular. They employ their own.
Koreans owned a lot of businesses in South Central Los Angeles. Why do you think Menace to Society show Kane and O-Dog walking into that liquor store, and O-Dog smoked the man and the woman who owned that Korean business? So what you seen in Menace to Society was art imitating reality. What you seen in Menace to Society, the movie, it was art imitating reality when O-Dog laid everybody down at that Asian liquor store in the beginning of the damn movie.
Black and Hispanic Korean businesses in South Central have been torched, dozens looted, dreams and effort.
I don't mind that. Whatever they need, take it out. But why they burn out the property? That's my question.
41 Korean businesses in South Central have been torched, dozens looted. In this overwhelmingly black and Hispanic area, Koreans own many of the small businesses. They're insular. They employ their own. They keep to themselves. Blacks say that's the problem.
I'm not surprised that the Koreans got targeted because their prices are high, their attitude is wrong, and they just don't seem to have any respect for the black community.
You know how it all started? The first thing when a girl got killed from the Oriental.
March 16th, 1991. Latasha Harlins, a black teenager, is shot and killed by a Korean store owner, Do. Do is convicted of voluntary manslaughter, but is sentenced only to parole and a small fine. The black community is outraged and remembers.
What, 6 months probation? I mean, the people were pissed then.
Today, local Korean radio is broadcasting which stores in the area are threatened. Young men like Eddie Kim rush over to try to defend them.
I don't care about the racism, I don't care anything, but it's not right, okay? It's not right to break inside and get any stuff, you know? It's not right. I don't think it's right.
Hee Lee spent last night and will spend tonight guarding his appliance store. A small battalion of employees and relatives will try to help.
I only have one shotgun. That's all I have. What do they have? They have hundreds of crazy people, hundreds of crazy young people with lots of guns.
After the destruction, many Koreans have lost all faith that the authorities can protect them.
Well, we hope police can protect, but as you see, this shortage of manpower, police.
Koreans have fanned out across South Central, worried that tonight, with so little left to loot, more of their stores will burn. But even in the midst of the chaos, John Wee is rebuilding.
We will continue to serve this community by doing the proper way of business. I don't think this is the will of the majority of this community.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out.
All right, let's go to the next clip, man. And, that's what happened in Los Angeles, man. Listen.
Wednesday, April 29th, 1992. Chaos erupts in the streets of Los Angeles as tens of thousands of looters pillage the city. And with emergency services,
the whole city went up in flames. In 1992, I want you guys to understand, for a whole week, we didn't have no electricity in Los Angeles. It was a blackout. The power lines got burned down. All the businesses got burned down. Everybody was sitting in their house with candles. My uncle stole a generator in the 1992 riots, and all you had to do was put gas in it to have electricity. So after 1 week of the riots, my uncle stole that generator, and we had electricity back in our house. The whole city went up in flame. The whole city went up in smoke in 1992. Everybody, food went bad. There was no electricity. It was a complete blackout. Complete blackout for well over a week. Everybody in Los Angeles was sitting in their house with candles. The whole city went up in smoke. Everything got burned down. Yeah.
unavailable, business owners were left to fend for themselves. Wednesday, April 29th, 1992. Chaos erupts in the streets of Los Angeles as tens of thousands of looters pillage the city. And with emergency services unavailable, business owners were left to fend for themselves. And out of all the stories told of the infamous 1992 LA riots, none have scratched the surface between myth and legend, like the story of a group of Korean immigrants taking arms on rooftops. This is that story.
Hey man, listen. The police wasn't coming to your neighborhood. People was killing. They was shooting. They was robbing. They was looting. In 1992, it was like the purge. The police wasn't arresting nobody. You could loot any store you wanted to, steal whatever. The police wasn't patrolling the community. They had to bring out the National Guard because the police was not patrolling South Central. The police stayed home and watched everything on the news. Police officers were not patrolling the black community of South Central Los Angeles. It was similar to the purge. Look at the movie that you've seen, The Purge. Everything went, everything goes. You can commit murder, robbery, assault, and you can get away with it. There was no police to stop anything. For a whole week in the city of Los Angeles, you was able to do whatever you want to do. I know people who stole furniture from the furniture store. People broke into the gun store. People had couches. People had refrigerators. People had stoves. I went into people's houses in 1992. I seen poor people with their whole house furnished because people broke into the damn furniture store. The police wasn't there. They wasn't stopping nothing. It was similar to the purge, the same thing you seen on that movie. It took the National Guard, but guess what? It took the National Guard 2 weeks to come. For a whole week straight, you could do whatever you want to do. It was the purge in Los Angeles in 1992. Mexicans were stealing too because see, Mexicans didn't give a damn about police brutality and how blacks were treated by racist white police. Mexicans was opportunists. They was looting and stealing to get free stuff. They didn't give a damn about Rodney King. Mexicans came on the news and said justice for Rodney Dangerfield. Justice for Rodney Dangerfield. Justice for Rodney Dangerfield. They didn't give a damn about no Rodney King or no Rodney Dangerfield. Mexicans and Latinos were opportunists. They seized the opportunity. They seized the opportunity to get free furniture and free stuff. They didn't give a damn about the plight of the black community. They were opportunists who only wanted free furniture and free stuff. That's why you had Latinos looting. They didn't give a damn about what was going on with black people for real. They capitalized off of the fact that they can loot and steal and get free stuff. And listen, in Koreatown, if you go up Western Avenue, right? If you go north of the 10 freeway, now, when you go north of the 10 freeway, it's still hood. You got Washington and Venice and Pico. It's a lot of blacks on Washington, Venice, and Pico north of the 10 freeway. Now, once you get to Wilshire and Olympic, that's when it becomes Koreatown. So they burned down South Central and they made their way to Koreatown. And a lot of those Asians in Koreatown was afraid of their businesses getting burned because the Asians who had businesses in South Central, those businesses got burned down. So black people say, okay, we burned down South Central. Let's head on over to Koreatown. Let's burn Koreatown down. Hey, man, but I'm going to tell you like this. Those Asians were standing on top of their businesses with their rifles and their guns, protecting their business in Koreatown and in Chinatown. That's what them Asians was doing. Check out the video. Yeah, Mexicans got on the news saying justice for Rodney Dangerfield. They didn't even know his name was Rodney King, which further proves that they were nothing but opportunists looking to steal, looking to get free stuff. Yeah, justice for Rodney Dangerfield, justice for Rodney Dangerfield. Like, who the hell are you talking about? Rodney Dangerfield.
Hi everyone, Donut here. The wait is over. I finally got around.
4 LAPD officers were tried following one of the most controversial excessive force incidents in American history. And after the Rodney King verdict was read, all 4 officers were acquitted, resulting in immediate protest.
Earlier, we had quite a scene where protesters did storm the doors of Parker Center.
The protest started out peaceful, but at approximately 4:15 p.m., a group of men approached the Payless Liquor and Deli on Florence Avenue. The men walked into the liquor store, grabbed whatever the fuck they wanted, and walked out with no intention of paying. 2 of the men smashed the liquor stores.
Look at all those Mexicans stealing. See, I told you. Look at these Mexicans stealing. You got all these Mexicans stealing beer, and the riots had nothing to do with Mexicans. It was about police brutality, white supremacy, and they made the black community their targets. Look at all these Mexicans looting and stealing, and the riots had nothing to do with them. The Mexicans just wanted free stuff, man. Look at these fools.
Front door, and another man struck the store owner's son with a beer bottle, rendering him unconscious. 911 was dialed, and 2 officers from the 77th Street Division of the LAPD responded, finding that the offenders had left upon arrival. And while making checks in the area for the offenders, a young man threw an object at their car. Approximately 24 officers, commanded by LAPD Lieutenant Michael Mullen, arrived and arrested the teenager. But the teenager put up a fight and resisted arrest. The teenager was a well-known minor in the community, further agitating a mass crowd of people who witnessed the arrest. The police formed a perimeter around the arresting officers as the crowd grew more hostile, leading to further altercations and arrests. And fearing the situation could potentially escalate to a life-threatening situation or the use of deadly force, Lieutenant Mullen ordered officers out of the area altogether. And by 6 p.m., the looting began on mass scale.
Rampaging protesters looted businesses in South Central Los Angeles, setting dozens of fires. One fireman has been shot.
The crowd began to turn physically violent, seriously injuring bystanders and other members within the crowd, absolutely polarizing the community and devastating business owners.
That's not right! That's not right! It's not right what y'all doing! I came from the ghetto too! Same as all of you did!
That was Shambolitas right there on Western Boulevard in between, Washington and Adams and, the 10 freeway. Yeah.
The growing number of rioters in the streets began attacking civilians, throwing debris at cars, pulling people from their vehicles, smashing shop windows.
Hey, when white people got caught driving in South Central, they got snatched out of their cars, man. If you was white in 1992 in Los Angeles and you was driving, and you was driving through South Central, black people was snatching you up out of your car. They was beating you. They was robbing you. Reginald Denny, a truck driver, was driving through South Los Angeles at the intersection of Normandy and Florence. Man, they pulled this white man out of his car and beat him half to death. Not saying it was right, but black people were just fed up. So if you
by the name of Choi C. Choi and a trucker named Reginald Denny who was delivering gravel for the construction.
If you was white driving through South Los Angeles, white people, like I said, man, they was pulling you out of your car. They was beating you down. White people were not allowed to come into South Central Los Angeles. They were being beaten and robbed. It was a no-fly zone for white people in South Central in 1992.
And setting them on fire. The chaos had sent shockwaves into the living rooms of millions of Americans across the nation. as a Chinese immigrant by the name of Choi Si-choi and a trucker named Reginald Denny, who was delivering gravel for the construction of low-income housing, were both horrifically attacked during live coverage of the riots. At approximately 7:15 p.m., as reports of vandalism, looting, and physical attacks continued to come in, Lieutenant Mullen elected to take the information but not respond. Mullen was later relieved by a captain, ordering officers only to assess the Florence and Normandy area. And at 12:15 a.m., Mayor Bradley signed an order for a dusk to dawn curfew, as well as declaring a state of emergency for the city of Los Angeles. And on the following day, by mid-morning, violence appeared widespread, as extensive looting and arson was witnessed across Los Angeles County. The rioting moved from south-central Los Angeles, going north through central Los Angeles, decimating the neighborhoods as far as Westlake to Fairfax, before reaching Hollywood. The looting and fires engulfed Hollywood Boulevard, and
I told you the city went up in smoke. Nobody had electricity. Nobody had electricity in 1992. We were sitting up in the house with candles because the whole city got burned down. 1992 was a damn movie, man. It was like living in a movie. If you was around in 1992 and you lived in Los Angeles, you seen something that only happens in movies, man. It only happens in movies, but the thing is, it happened in real life in Los Angeles. This is the purge. This is what you call the purge. Looting, robbing, stealing, killing, taking whatever you want with no consequences. It took for the National Guard to come out to get everything under control, and it took the National Guard 2 weeks to get to Los Angeles to get everything under control, because the LAPD, the police, wasn't doing nothing. Not really.
simultaneously, rioting moved west into neighboring independent cities of Compton, Carson, and Long Beach. You might even remember Long Beach native Bradley Noel singing about it on Sublime's self-titled album.
First spot we hit it was my liquor store.
R.I.P. Bradley Noel, fucking legend. From Olympic Street to 120th Street laid the forefront of many small family-owned local businesses, primarily owned by first-generation Korean immigrants, many of whom escaped from North Korea into South Korea before immigrating to the United States. Many of whom were formerly voluntold soldiers who knew how to fight. And the fight came to Koreatown rather swiftly, as rioters moved up north from Florence and Normandy with a newfound thirst for looting. At 11:30 a.m., one employee of a local gun store, David Jew, was working behind the counter.
Now, those, like I said, those Asians in Koreatown, they got on top of their businesses to protect their business, to stop people from looting. So eventually, the rioting spread from South Central on to West LA, Central LA, and then it spread it off into Koreatown. And you've seen all these Asians in Koreatown and Chinatown hop on top of their businesses with weapons to protect their business. They didn't want their businesses to go up in flames like the Asian businesses did in South Central. So in Koreatown and Chinatown, the Asians strapped up and said, nah, man, we're going to shoot people over here. We ain't gonna let y'all bring all that over here now. But it still happened.
When the shop phone rang, it was a phone call from his employer, Richard Park, who owned another store a few doors down. Richard informed David that he was at the nearby shop and in the middle of a gunfight. David locked up the gun store, ran across the parking lot, armed with a Beretta. When he arrived, he heard gunshots, at which point looters from across the street made their way to the gun shop plaza and opened fire on Richard and David. But when the two men fired back, the assailants fled the area immediately. Word quickly spread throughout Koreatown that this method had worked, in not only protecting Richard's property, but his life. Korean business owners who caught word of this began to phone in a Los Angeles-based radio station called Radio Korea, pleading to the radio station's audience for an armed response to help protect their property.
Everybody parked in the street, took some everything, liquor, beer.
When you got
make sure that you guys bless that like button. You know it ain't nothing.
here, you said people were still inside the store. What did you do?
Sit inside. I shut it 8 times. Everybody moved.
A merchant guarding his property. You got anybody out there or just a shop?
Rick Romero out here. All of the merchants here are not going to wait for the National Guard or police or anybody else. You talked about
guerrilla warfare, and it's right here, right on the premises here. Just about every one of the individuals in this
Radio Korea quickly became dubbed Koreatown's makeshift command center, warning listeners of the whereabouts of incoming looters, and offered itself as a 911 system, allowing shop owners to call out for help over the air. After the realization sank in, there would be no response from police, fire, or EMS, already stretched too thin, responding to thousands of ongoing emergencies.
The LA riots was the worst, man. I listen, man. There was a riot in LA, like in, you know, the Watts riots in LA. Then we had the South Central riot. We had the Watts riots in the 1960s. Then we had the LA riots in 1992. The LA riots was way off the chain. It was like, it was similar to the Purge and probably even way worse, because everything got burned down. Not only did you have a lot of robbing, stealing, and killing, most of these businesses got burned down. The whole city went up in flames. There were no police around to stop nothing. You could loot, you could steal, you could rob, kill, you can do whatever you wanted to do. That was a terrible situation, but it happened in Los Angeles.
With weaponry than I am, he says it looks to be a 9mm Uzi.
Where Korean shopkeepers could be seen armed with M1 carbines, Ruger Mini 14s, pump-action shotguns, handguns, and
see them Koreans, like I say, in Koreatown, they got strapped up. The last thing they wanted was for Koreatown to go up in flames like the Korean businesses did in Los Angeles.
Daewoo K1A1s. Like, look at this dude's loadout. He's got a red polo t-shirt and a Daewoo K1A1. I mean, come on. One of the most iconic photographs of roof Koreans happened at a small grocery store called California Market. The owner fortified his store with 20 well-armed employees and volunteers, all of whom were wearing white headbands. They were often shooting blanks or discharging warning shots into the air, which is dumb. You gotta wonder where those went, you know? But their methods worked, as looters scattered, fleeing the area as quickly as they could. On May 3rd, after 4 days of exchanging gunfire with armed looters, the rooftop Koreans successfully forced every single wave of remaining mobs out of Koreatown, saving countless lives and livelihoods in which the Korean American identity was born.
Like I said, they didn't want Koreatown to get burned, man, because, you know, all those Asian businesses in South Central, they got burned. So the Koreans protected their business. They like, man, we ain't gonna let y'all burn down Koreatown. You can burn down them, you know, them Korean and Asian businesses in South Central Los Angeles, but in Koreatown, you know, them Asians was over there fighting back. I got to be real with you. They were shooting back at people.
And on that same day, over 1,100 Marines and 6,500 National Guard troops patrolled the streets of Los Angeles, putting an end to the chaos.
See, that's when the National Guard came in. You see these tanks right here? It got so bad in Los Angeles to where the police wasn't helping. There were shootouts, there were gun battles, and the National Guard had to come in to simmer things down.
And on that same day, over 1,100 Marines and 6,500 National Guard troops patrolled the streets of Los Angeles, putting an end to the chaos. If it wasn't for a few brave men who stood up against their opposers, Koreatown would have been unsalvageable. The nearly week-long rioting killed more than 60 people, injuring more than 2,300, and caused approximately $1 billion in damage.
I want y'all to hear that again. 60 people got killed during the riots.
And to the chaos. If it wasn't for a few brave men who stood up against their opposers, Koreatown would have been unsalvageable. The nearly week-long rioting killed more than 60 people, injuring more than 2,300, and caused approximately $1 billion in damage, half of which was sustained by Korean-owned businesses. Korean Americans have come to refer to the 1992 uprising as Saigu, which translates to April 29th, a day Koreans will never forget. Hey guys,
hit that like button if you haven't already. Listen, man, we're gonna tap on out, family. I need everybody to bless that like button, man. This right here was some real Los Angeles history, taking you down memory lane about what happened in the 1992 LA riots. Peace, love, and blessings to everybody. I'm up out of here. Make sure that you guys hype the video. If you haven't hyped the video, make sure that you hype the video. Subscribe to the content, and let's do it. I'll be back later on with some more content. Peace to everybody. FBA, it is time to stand on business.